Hello, welcome to day 66 of these vlogs. I'm at a loss again for a name. I just don't feel like any of them really encompassed what I'm trying to do here. Probably because I don't know what I'm doing here, and it's probably not serving a particular purpose. But either way, I don't have a name for it anymore. It's just gone. Just day 66. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, you should. Sorry. My wife's in it. She's awesome. Bella's in it, but she really just says no a couple of times, as she normally does in these videos when we're in the car. She doesn't want to say hi to you. She doesn't want to say bye to you. That's Bella. So yeah, yesterday's video was good. Today, a little more serious. A lot more serious. Really, really, really sad. I saw this today on Twitter. That's where I saw the news. But a police officer, this woman in New York City, police officer, she was shot and killed while she was just sitting in her police truck, I believe is what the story is. So she was just sitting in her police vehicle and someone came up and shot and killed her. And it's awful. It's just, I mean, they call it unprovoked. It's just an assassination. It's just an absolutely horrible, tragic thing. And you know, and when stuff like this happens, which unfortunately right now it seems to be happening a lot. I mean, obviously in Dallas we had a bunch of police officers targeted a year ago and murdered, and you know, it happens. But when situations like this happen, I wish that as a people, as Americans, as humans, that we would be able to just say, okay, this sucks. You know, let's pray for the family. Let's see what we can do to help if we can. And then let's wait and see and try to figure out what happened here. You know? But that's not what happens right now. Because, and this, you say it out loud and it sounds awful, but this is the reality of it. People have a rooting interest when things like this happen. People are actively rooting for this to be a white Christian, because we need that guy to have murdered someone today, because that helps the political narrative about gun control. We need this to be a Muslim terrorist so we can have another coal to shove into that fire for a travel ban or for whatever else, right? We've got another group. We want this to be another gangbanger. That's who it should be. Or someone tied to Black Lives Matter so we can really point out how awful they are. Look, once you've established who did what, then this idea of, of seeing if it fits a narrative or fits with a worldview or helps you make a point, that's one thing. You know, to look at a situation, once you've collected facts, once you actually have a decent idea of who is responsible or what really happened, okay. Now, if you want to make your point, make your point. I still think it's really awful how far and crazy we take it. We've gone way past logic to now it's just emotional conversation, emotionally screaming at each other. I don't like that either. But when we get to the point where it's literally something like this happens, and online there will be people rooting for it to be one person or another. See, I told you it's this. I guarantee it's another one of these guys. Are we going to shut down this group now? Are we going to call for more gun control now? What are we even doing? What we're not doing is being reasonable people. It's really unfortunate. It's really, really, really unfortunate because everything just is part of someone's political narrative. Everything's got to be used to further some political point, even before you know what's really going on. So you're going to have a lot of people who are going to have to eat their tweets, or they won't because they don't really care because it's Twitter and nobody really cares. There's no shame on Twitter. There's no real shame in being the person who went out and said it was this and then it turns out to be something else, because you can just delete your tweet and move on, and, people will forget about that you said it, and you can go on to saying the next dumb thing 2 days later when something bad happens. And maybe you get lucky that time and you say, "Ha, see, I told you so. I knew it was a terrorist." And then you feel vindicated to throw out your additional unsubstantiated, uneducated, unwarranted opinions before you even really know what's going on. And this is not a one political party versus another. This is everybody. This is not a conservative versus liberal versus this versus that. Everyone is doing it right now. Everyone. If you're a liberal, you're rooting for it to be a white Christian male. And hopefully a member of the KKK. Because that fits a narrative. That we need more gun control to take guns away from all the racist white people who are out there just murdering people. Alright, cool. Or, I don't really know who else you're rooting for if it's a liberal. If it's a conservative, if you're conservative and you are one of these people, which I don't even know you would call them liberal conservative. If you're an idiot who puts himself on the right, or an idiot puts himself on the left, if you're one of the dudes on the right, you're rooting for this to be a Black Lives Matter guy or girl, you don't care, just someone associated that you can tie into Black Lives Matter, or even just tie into CNN, or you're rooting for it to be a terrorist. Because then you can go, "See, I told you we needed the travel ban or this or that," and you're predicting that it's this and you're predicting that it's that. Just stop. For the love of everything that's still decent, just stop. The video went out. But just to finish, an incredibly brave woman got murdered, and it's awful. It's truly sad, and we should be praying for the family. We should be trying to honor her for her sacrifice, not just because she died, but because of what she chose to do when she was alive. That's what we should be doing. And the rest of this nonsense needs to stop. You're not winning any political points. You're just coming across as heartless. And it needs to stop. I'm sure it won't. I'm sure it will continue as long as morons have access to social media and a cell phone. But, one can hope, one can dream. That's it for today. Sorry, it's a bit more serious than some of the past ones. I've just been thinking about this, and not just today because of the officer in New York City, but because of every time something like this happens, the response you see online, it gives you very little hope for people in general. So, anyway, that's it for today. Hopefully tomorrow a little more cheery. See you.